Evening, everyone, and welcome back to Today in the News. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Um, we have here Antifa releases a list of demands. They're taking over a six square blocks section in Seattle and setting up armed security watch. They've also made a list of demands, which includes reparations and ending the police department. So let's start this review here about what's going on across the nation. We see the marchers still marching, the rioters still rioting. Will there be an end to it? Nobody knows. But in this particular article that I wanted to bring up is Antifa setting up a 6 square block radius. Here's the map of where they are. This is in Seattle. They've labeled it this autonomous zone. Um, Looks like that took place over the weekend. Um, Let's see here. Antifa terrorists are advocating for folks with firearms to take shifts defending the barricades. Antifa group set up barricades at the border in certain areas for dining and public speech. This is from Andy No. If you know who Andy No is, he's a freelance reporter. Um, and one of the incidents he had was with Antifa several months ago, where he was just reporting on their activity, and he got assaulted and attacked. They threw things at him. I think his face got smashed with a milkshake and other things like this that they threw at him. Just reviewing some of these. Here you got the sign there with the green barricade. You're entering a free zone. And so basically, what we're looking at here is the Antifa mob, as we might see them marching in the streets. But they are basically the far left wing of the party, the anarchists, the black flags. They carry around with them. They refuse to be reasoned with. These are the far left groups that rise up and resist law and order. They're the ones largely behind the riots and the destruction that we see. They're basically the culmination of what we see at these universities of lower learning, where we have professors who are constantly pounding the pulpit of equality and overthrowing this system because somehow it doesn't work for everybody. I mean, this is why they exist in academia for so long, and so their pupils, who I think are in large part people derived from this mentality. Um, a lot of suburban, I think, white kids who are sent to college and they're sold a dream from the professor, but when they get to the real world, this doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. The reality is that people have to work for a living. We have to work hard. It is competitive, but that's what makes the free enterprise and free market so successful here in this country, is that people have to really work for it and not come out of college expecting that it's going to go your way. It didn't go my way. Um, I went to school for one thing, ended up doing something else. So that's the way it is. But here we have on Tuesday, Free Capitol Hill, the Antifa Autonomous Zone released their list of demands. So we have someone here named Ollie that is saying, "Holy, you know what? Just released a list of demands. They're both radical and realistic at the same time." We'll scroll down here and look at a few of them. But the list includes reparations, ending the police and free stuff, pretty much what you would expect from a bunch of illiterate lefties. So this is via the Medium. Given the historical moment, and I'm just reading off the list here, we'll begin with our demands pertaining to the justice system. Uh, they do not request a reform, they want an abolition of it. Dismantle the police force altogether. Uh, we demand the Seattle Council and the mayor defund and abolish the police station. Number two, um, in this transitionary period between now and the dismantlement of the Seattle Police Department, we demand the use of armed force be banned entirely. No guns, no batons, no riot shields, no chemical weapons, especially those exercising the First Amendment. Yeah, you have the right to protest, but you don't have the right to attack people, attack businesses, innocent people. This is where you draw the line. These people are radical, I'm telling you. And the worst part about this whole thing is that these left wing politicians, uh, mayors, governors, they're letting it happen. They step to the side and they've allowed this to happen, and there's no telling the end of it. they're complicit. I mean, they refuse in many ways and many times the National Guard. So, as we say, this is the radical left wing paramilitary, if you will, marching the streets. This is what we're seeing on the news for the last week. We demand an end to the school to prison pipeline. Again, institutional racism, oppression. This is all from the schools. This is all where it derives from. Um, it's a full scale assault, really, on the institution. And yeah, some things we can look at definitely, but disbanding the police and uh, abolishing all these things here. There has to be formalities and meetings and this sort of thing here. Let's go on down the list here. Reparations for the victims of police brutality. There were a lot of cops who died actually in some of these riots, specifically Officer Dorn, St. Louis, retired police officer. We don't hear about him hardly at all. So, there's a lot of unanswered questions here. But shout out to the Blue Lives who are on the front lines battling this. I know it's not easy, but anyway, the list of demands goes on, and you can look it up yourself. I've posted it on my page, America's Culture War, on Facebook. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section. Just trying to put this together. So, all right, thanks again. Take care.